Hello, my favorite English language learners. It is your favorite English teacher here, Amy Joy. Now, in my last video, we talked about 5 Christmas traditions in the United States. And in today's video, I am going to share with you 5 Christmas characters you must know to better understand how Americans celebrate Christmas. So let's start. Number 1, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. Santa Claus has several names, including Santa. And notice how I delete the T when I say his name. A lot of times we just say Santa Claus. He has also been called Kris Kringle and also Old Saint Nick. There is some history and stories behind these names, but I'm not really familiar with them. Usually in the US, we just say Santa. You are probably familiar with him, but he is the big, fat, happy man who dresses up in a big red suit and has a long white beard. He is married to Mrs. Claus, who doesn't really play much of a role in Christmas. She probably deserves more credit, but we don't know much about her. And on Christmas Eve, Santa rides on his sleigh with his 9 reindeer, delivering gifts to all the boys and girls who have been put on his nice list. To get on Santa's nice list, you have to behave all year long, and parents will often use Santa's nice list to get their children to behave better. If you are bad throughout the year, then you are going to be put on Santa's naughty list or his bad list and receive only a lump of coal for Christmas. So children better behave, otherwise they are going to get a lump of coal. Now, Santa could not deliver all of these gifts without his 9 reindeer, who pull his sleigh from house to house. There are 9 reindeer that we are all familiar with, and their names are Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and of course the most famous reindeer, Rudolph. There is a very famous Christmas song which tells the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it says this: Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They would never let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games. Then, one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history." This is a very famous children's song, and this song conveys the message that the things that make us different actually make us special and should be celebrated. So Santa has Mrs. Claus and his reindeer helping him deliver the gifts, but the gifts could not be made without character number 3, Santa's elves. Santa's elves are tiny little creatures who work in his workshop and make all of the gifts for the little girls and boys. And my favorite Christmas movie is actually called Elf, and it is about a human who accidentally gets put in the North Pole to live with Santa and his elves. And he grows up thinking that he's an elf, but later he actually finds out that he's a human, and then he goes on the search for his real parents.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Thanks, Mr. Narwhal. Bye.
It is such a good movie, and I highly recommend it. Now, before moving on to our next Christmas character, if you have found this video interesting or helpful, make sure you like it and subscribe to my channel so you can keep improving your English with me. Now, character number 4 is Frosty the Snowman. This is another character that has a whole song dedicated to him and tells his story. It says, "Frosty the Snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. There must have been some magic in that old top hat they found, for when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around." And then at the end it says, "Frosty the Snowman knew the sun was hot that day. So he said, 'Let's run and we'll have some fun now before I melt away.' Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry, I'll be back again someday." So basically, all of the children built a snowman, and when they placed a hat on his head, he came to life magically. But in the end, they decided to go run around in the sun, and Frosty melted, saying goodbye until the next time that it snowed. Now, our last Christmas character is arguably the most important one, depending on if you are religious or not, and that is baby Jesus. Like I mentioned in my last video, Christmas is both a religious and secular or not religious holiday, and Christians around the world spend this holiday celebrating the miracle of the Virgin Mary giving birth to baby Jesus. So according to this story, the Virgin Mary gave birth to baby Jesus, and after his birth, an angel appeared to shepherds and some wise men, and the angel told them to go find this baby Jesus. So the shepherds, they followed a big shining star in the night, and this star led them to Jesus. And I have also heard that we have candy canes during Christmas to represent the shepherds' canes. And likewise, the wise men also found Jesus and brought him gifts like gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And I've actually heard that we exchange gifts on Christmas to represent the gifts that the wise men brought Jesus. I'm not actually sure if this is true, but this is what I've been told. Now, this scene, which includes Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, the wise man, and the shepherds, along with all of the animals in the stable, is called the Nativity scene. The word nativity means an occasion of someone's birth. And so if you are a Christian, oftentimes you will buy Christmas decorations that have this nativity scene. Here you can see some Christmas decorations on someone's lawn, and here is another nativity scene that you can put inside your house. Christians have a saying that goes, "Jesus is the reason for the season," and they really emphasize celebrating Jesus and his birth over all of the other commercial aspects of Christmas. So there you have it, 5 Christmas characters to help you better understand how Americans celebrate Christmas in the United States. If you found this video interesting or helpful, make sure you like it and subscribe to my channel so you can keep learning about American culture with me. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, and I'll see you next time. Bye!